Thanks very much for staying with us. Time now for Eye on Africa with me, Georgia Calvin-Smith. Tonight, both Senegal's opposition and ruling coalition claim victory in Sunday's legislative elections. The polls were an important test for President Macky Sall. They decide whose MPs control parliament for the next 5 years. Also, Kenya's heading to presidential polls next week. The Supreme Court historically nullified the outcome of the troubled 2017 election. This time around, the Electoral Commission says lessons have been learned. And a project in Benin lays bare the mysteries of voodoo. The religion has shrines throughout Porto Novo, but many have long been kept secret. The sacred sites are now being opened up to the public. But first, Senegalese opposition is claiming victory in Sunday's legislative elections, as is President Macky Sall's ruling coalition. Nationwide results have yet to be announced. The polls are an important test for Sall as it decides who controls parliament for the next 5 years. The opposition is hoping a strong showing could curb any ambition Sall might have for a third term. Sam Bradpeace brings us more from Dakar.
A little more than 6 hours after polling booths had closed, the main candidate for the governing coalition announced a crushing victory.
We have won 30 departments. This means we have without doubt won a majority.
Her claims were promptly dismissed by the mayor of Dakar, who was one of the main candidates running for the opposition.
We told the government that we would be in parliament. We told the government that if they simply walk into the National Assembly with a prefabricated majority, we will not accept it.
Supporters from both sides partied late into the night, but because official results aren't expected until Friday, some of them are likely to be disappointed down the line. The opposition are worried that should the governing coalition maintain a strong majority, this could encourage Macky Sall to stand for a third term in office, a move they say would be unconstitutional. Macky Sall has said he wouldn't announce his decision on whether he would be running again or not in the 2024 presidential election until after these legislative results come out.
Sam Bradpeace there for us. Now, on Monday, soldiers in DR Congo fired warning shots at protesters around a UN peacekeepers base in the eastern city of Benin. Security has been substantially stepped up there over a week of demonstrations against the UN's MONUSCO mission in the country. The UN's paid tribute to the 5 peacekeepers killed during the unrest. On Sunday, 2 people were killed by peacekeepers on the border with Uganda. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says that he is outraged by that incident. Camille Nedlet talks us through.
These peacekeepers are in mourning. In Goma, UN workers paid tribute to their fallen colleagues, 3 of which were killed during anti-MONUSCO protests last week. Over a dozen civilians also died, though the UN says it did not open fire on them during demonstrations.
Justice must be rendered to all our United Nations colleagues who have lost their lives, and of course, this justice must be rendered to all our Congolese brothers and sisters who continue to suffer the horrors of war and who are its primary victims. Unfortunately, we have seen more of these terrible abuses and of those who initiate them.
Congolese authorities were notably absent from the ceremony. Earlier in July, the president of the Congolese Senate said the mission should pack its bags. UN mission facilities were looted by protesters in the east of DR Congo last Monday, sparking a wave of violence against the organization that lasted for several days. The demonstrators claimed the MONUSCO mission had failed to protect locals from the various armed groups vying for power in the region and demanded that the mission come to an end.
They continue to kill us, they continue to massacre us, at times even massacre people in the same neighborhood as the United Nations forces. That's what tires us out. That's what we don't want to see anymore. That's why we ask the government to terminate all the contracts it has already signed with MONUSCO.
Further heightening tensions on Sunday, UN troops admitted to shooting dead 2 people at the border with Uganda. The soldiers responsible were arrested, and the UN has denounced their actions.
Kenya is heading to presidential polls next week. The last ones, in 2017, sparked fatal protests after opposition leader Raila Odinga, one of this year's frontrunners, said that results that returned President Uhuru Kenyatta had been tampered with. The Supreme Court eventually historically nullified Kenyatta's 2017 victory. He was again declared the winner of the repeat vote, but this year, the chair of the Electoral Commission, the IEBC, says that lessons have been learned from the chaos of the 2017 vote. Our correspondent on the ground, Vivian Wandera, talks us through.
This election is critical to the electoral body as they seek to redeem themselves from the mistakes made in the 2017 election, which was cancelled due to irregularities. Now, the Commission is also seeking to build trust, as different polls show that Kenyans do not trust them to hold credible elections. This Monday, IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati insisted that the body is ready to give Kenyans what they deserve, which is free, fair, and credible elections, which are held in a transparent and accountable manner. Now, IEBC CEO also added that there won't be a chance for anyone to rig the elections, as all loopholes have been sealed. Unlike 2017, where polling stations had extra ballot papers, this time, the number of ballot papers provided is equivalent to that of registered voters in every polling station. Chebukati has explained that they are expecting the last batch of ballot papers to arrive in the country on August 3rd, after which they will be distributed to every polling station in all the 47 counties by August 6th. In terms of transmission of results, the Commission has said that they have full trust in the equipment to help transmit results in 4G. In case of any disruptions, they have provided extra equipment and modems to assist. Now, in 2017, there were transmission issues which led to a delay in some of the polling stations sending in their final tallies. This time, the Commission has full trust in the equipment they have provided and say that they will assist in all 22.1 million Kenyans to vote without any disruptions.
More than 80 people appeared in court in Krugersdorp, South Africa on Monday after they were arrested following the gang rape of 8 women. The victims were cast of a music video being shot in the town last Thursday. A gang attacked the set and brutally robbed and abused the crew. The suspects who appeared in court are illegal minors and haven't yet officially been charged with the rape. Police say that they're waiting for DNA tests, but the attack has sparked national outrage and has devastated the victims.
What happened in Krugersdorp is just a shame of the nation, Premier. We were lucky yesterday to meet the families and the survivors, those young kids. You hear the story, you imagine what happened, but when you see those people and you realize that they are not just a story, they are human beings, they are there, they are young, you talk to them, and you realize the destruction, which is not temporal. Some of those destructions are permanent with those kids.
Well, Urban Hatching is a project that lays bare the mysteries of voodoo in Benin. The religion has shrines throughout the capital, Porto Novo, but many have long been kept secret because of the suspicion and fear that the beliefs represent in many non-believers. The sacred sites are now being opened up to the public. Our correspondents report.
3 centuries ago, different settling communities in Porto Novo claimed separate parts of the city. Each neighborhood housed secret temples to honor their unique voodoo deities. Today, hundreds of these squares are still scattered throughout the Beninese capital.
Là, il y a un voodoo aussi. Ouais, l'Egba. C'est le Legba. Ok, d'accord. Donc ça aussi, on doit mettre ça en valeur. Même les Béninois qui ne sont pas
Beninese people who are not educated in the voodoo culture cannot identify these symbols. It's very important to highlight them. Those who can do are the artists, because they take ownership of history. They reproduce voodoo symbols through an artistic lens to make it accessible to everyone.
Le transcrit avec une expression artistique accessible au commun.
Desiree de Juanu has renovated dozens of voodoo sites, including family covens in the Jinan district. On the walls of this square, the artist from Porto Novo has reproduced an asso, a balafon used for rituals.
C'est à vie sauf si on casse le bâtiment.
These restored sites and their demonstration of voodoo culture are now open to the public.
Art can help enhance the voodoo culture, because not everyone has the chance to come to these squares. Some religions are even afraid of it. By making art shine through, it allows them to understand what it is about.
These temples are sacred, but have long been viewed with suspicion. At first, many voodoo leaders resisted the renovations.
At the very beginning, we were met with opposition. People asked how we could decide overnight to renovate the voodoo squares that were destroyed in colonial times. They were seen as demonic, satanic places.
We couldn't refuse. We, the believers, do not have the means to do it ourselves. And if they want to help us, it's good. Everyone will benefit.
Benin plans to become a major cultural and touristic destination. By reclaiming its spiritual heritage, the country hopes to demystify voodoo, a religion long stigmatized and rejected.
Well, that's it for Eye on Africa for now. Thanks for joining us, and do so again if you can. Till then, take care.
Versailles, Mont Saint-Michel,